Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time on this channel seeing this face, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Sinikiwe Kademaunga. I do lifestyle content around how I live my life as a young person with a disability, with the aim to inspire, motivate, and just to encourage other people out there to say you can live your life to the fullest, to your maximum potential, despite the challenges that we face in life. I know that's a very long intro, but anyway, welcome. If you're an oldie but a goodie, thank you so much for coming back. Thank you for your support, for watching my videos, for leaving comments, sharing, subscribing, and just liking my videos. Thank you so much, guys, for all the support. I really appreciate you guys. I notice you. Sometimes I might not be able to respond to all your comments, but just know that I read through all the comments and I just want to appreciate you guys, saying thank you so much for your support and your love. So, firstly, a disclaimer or a trigger warning. This video might be triggering to some people who are going through um, fertility issues, fertility problems. So just proceed this video with caution. Okay. So if you have already seen from the title of this video, today I'm going to talk about my fertility journey. Okay. It's been a ride to encourage other people because recently when I shared my birth and my motherhood journey, a lot of people have been in my inbox sharing their different experiences. So I was like, let me also come and share my experience with you guys. So before we just go straight into, let me take you guys back to my childhood. We were five in our family. I'm the last born of the family, but I think from my father's side, I also have two younger brothers to make all of us seven children. And if I can tell you guys that when I was growing up, just I didn't grow up with my siblings and my parents. I grew up with my grandmother. But when I was a bit older, when I was now able to like reunite with my siblings and all that, I tell you, it was really a good feeling to just be around all these people. We are only two girls in our family, and which means five boys, like the five of us. Just being around those people, it just brings me so much joy, so much safety, secure, and all that. It was really a good feeling. I felt so loved. Um, so for me, when I saw that, I was like, me, I'm also going to have a big family like that. I was like, I need to have at least 4 or 5 kids. Now that I've experienced motherhood, 5 kids for who? For what? But anyway, so that I was one like from a very very big family, and then so growing up, I grew up in a Christian home. My grandmother was a Roman Catholic, so I grew up in a Roman Catholic home where we didn't discuss a lot about um sexual health, sexual experience, or anything to do with sex. We never, like, not just sex, but I mean anything to do with like sexual health and all that. We never discussed in our home. It was a no go. It was something that we would never, like, it was a taboo, if I can say that. My grandmother was not that open when it comes to like sexual issues and all that. So I just grew up. I would hear about sexual issues and whatnot from my like friends at school and things that we were learning when I was at school. And also, like, sex was something that we were told that you can only have sex after you get married, like, no sex before marriage. And growing up, I was someone who was like never like sexually active. From a very young age, I knew that I wanted to have kids. Like, kids was not even a discussion for me. I really knew that at some point I was going to be a mother. I just didn't know if I was capable of being a mother or anything like that, but I was just like, I want to be a mother. And you know, when you're young, you're playing with dolls. Some of my womb, I don't know the actual name, English name for that, like playing with dolls and other kids. And I just knew that I wanted to be a mother at some point. Marriage was not really the goal for me. Like, I wasn't sure if I really wanted to be married. I just knew that I wanted to be a mother. I knew that I wanted to be a mother. Because the reason why I just didn't envy marriage is because I didn't have an example of what marriage looked like because I grew up with my grandmother. She was a single mom. I didn't grow up with my mom. My mom was married, but I was not staying with my mom. I was staying with my grandmother. So I didn't have much reference when it comes to marriage. So that's why I was like, Nina, I don't think I would want to get married, or marriage is something that I was not really like my priority, if I can say. So that's basically like the background of it. So I grew up, went to university, wasn't sexually active, nothing like that. And then in 20, when I started like dating my husband, we dated. And then in 2020, I just don't know, like I just felt this age that it was time for me. I wanted to be a mother. I was not married, but I was like, I really want to be a mother. If there are Judge Judy's here, please keep your comments to yourself. So I just knew that I wanted to be a mother. Like in 2020, I was like to my boyfriend, who's now my husband, I was like, I really want a child. And he was so surprised. He was like, what do you mean you want a child? We are not married, blah, blah. I was like, I don't care. I just want a child. And if I can tell you guys that at that point, I was like, I think I was okay if even if I was going to raise this child alone, because I was like, this is my child. I really want to have a child. At first, my husband was like against it. At that point, he was my boyfriend. My boyfriend was against it, but then later on, he was like, okay, cool, let's have a child. And then first attempt, boom, I got pregnant. If I tell you guys that for me, issues to do with fertility was not even a discussion. It was not. I didn't have like exposure, or I didn't have like any close experience of people who have been like losing pregnancies, or maybe there were people around my family, but because I was young, no one was sharing these things with me. So for me, I just know that people, they do what they need to do, and boom, you're just pregnant. I never in my imagination imagine that someone can lose a pregnant, someone can lose a child. I was like, it's either you have a child or you don't have. Because we also have like a family member who was married, I think, for about 13 years, and they never had a child with his wife. So I was like, it's either you can give birth or you cannot at all. Like losing a child, losing pregnancy was never something that I was exposed to. It was never something that I knew can happen to someone. So for me, the first time, first attempt, boom, I was pregnant. I'm like, girl, what a fertile mother Africa are you? I got pregnant. I was really excited. I remember the day when I found out that I was pregnant. I was really excited. I even phoned my friends. I told everyone. I came here on YouTube. I told you guys that I was pregnant. I did a pregnancy announcement. I was so happy. But looking back now with the experience that I've had with my son, I think at that time, guys, I was clueless. I didn't know what I was doing. Honestly, I didn't know what was happening. I didn't have much information about everything that was happening. And also the fact that I just got pregnant without even consulting a doctor if I was capable of carrying like pregnancy and all that. Thing was okay, smooth. I wasn't feeling sick. I didn't have any morning sickness. Like not everything was just perfect. And at the hospital that I went to, I was given like a doctor that I was supposed to consult. If I tell you guys that I only saw that doctor once, they never saw him again. So I didn't have much information of what was really happening to me and my pregnancy, the things that I needed to do. Like I didn't have any information of that. But for me, because I don't know, I wasn't young, but because I was just very clueless about pregnancy and whatever, I didn't put much effort into it. I was like, I'm just okay. I'm gonna give birth. The time is gonna come. I'm going to be in labor, or the time is gonna come. I'm going to have a C-section. I was supposed to have like a C-section, but unfortunately, I went into preterm labor. Like I actually went through contractions. But because I didn't have information, I didn't know that I was having contractions at that time. I thought, I don't know, maybe just pain. I ignored it for a while. And then I think I've already shared my labor in delivery story from my previous pregnancy. You guys have seen. If you haven't seen, maybe scroll down my YouTube channel, you'll see the video. So that was me. And then we went to the hospital. I gave birth. I ended up pushing like the baby, having vaginal delivery, which I was not supposed to have because everything was just quick. And then I ended up like delivering my son through vaginal delivery. And then I think he just survived for 24 hours and then he passed on. It was on a Sunday morning. I remember when I was just laying in that ward. I think we just a lot of ladies in that ward, and then like the sister in charge came and she was like, "Who is Sinikiwe Kademaunga?" I was like, "It's me." And then she was like, "Okay, I need to see you. Can you please come?" So I went to the nursery where my baby was, and then that's when she broke the news to me. And I remember just holding my baby. He was dead, but I was like, "Can I please hold him?" I remember holding him, but if I tell you guys, I didn't cry. I was just so confused, honestly, about what was happening. It was a mess. It was a mess. And I remember at that time I didn't cry like until my sister came. She took me home. I didn't cry. I was so confused. I wasn't aware of like what was really happening. I felt numb. At that time, when I was in the hospital, my boobs were like totally, like completely dry, no milk, nothing. And then when I went home, they started to swollen up because of milk, and that's when things started like hitting that I had lost a child, and I was just crying and crying and crying, and a lot was happening in my family at that time, and I felt like I really didn't receive the support that I would have wished to receive from my family. I was in a dark place, guys. I don't want to lie to you. I was just crying all the time. Things were not okay. And then I ended up going to one of my friends, like my best friend's house, to be with her, like her parents, and they were just there. They supported me, and I actually needed like a different environment, away from my family, away from people that I knew, because I just wanted to heal. Because every time when I was walking around, people were asking, "What happened to the baby? What happened?" And that's not something that you need to be asked when you're going through that. So I ended up going like into a different location, and then I stayed there for I think about a month, and then I came back home, and I just moved out from the place that I was staying, and then I moved to another place because I just wanted a different environment. I wanted a new environment. I just wanted some fresh air. But during that time, I was really grateful for my friends. They really supported me through and through, people who came through for me. And I remember I shared my pregnancy journey with you guys here on YouTube. And then when I lost the baby, I just went quiet because I was going through a lot, guys. I was not emotionally well. Things were not okay. And I remember people like coming to my inbox and said, "You were faking the pregnancy. You're not even pregnant in the first place. You're faking the pregnancy because you just wanted to receive donations from people." Like people said a lot of things, and I was so heartbroken, guys. I was so heartbroken. I remember I used to just cry and cry and cry, and at that time I wanted to get pregnant just immediately after that. I remember telling my boyfriend, like, I think I need to get pregnant again. And my boyfriend was like, "You know what, Sneaker, you need to rest. This is not the time for you to like get pregnant again. Your body needs to rest emotionally, physically, spiritually. You just need to take a break." Okay. I was like, "Oh, okay, no problem." So I took a break, but I went into depression, guys. I was so depressed. I remember I was so angry with God. I was like, "God, what is this? Why is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this?" And the previous year, 2020, in lockdown, I had lost two of my brothers, the firstborn and the secondborn in our family. So for me, it feels like I was losing and losing. And now I had lost a child. I was like, "God, this is too much for me to handle." And I remember that whole year I didn't go to church because I felt like I was betrayed. I was like, "God, I'm a child of you. I pray. I do all these things that you say we should do in the Bible, but why is this happening to me?" And I was so down. But then later on, but I thank God that there were people who were there for me. My boyfriend was there for me, and people just supported me. And then fast forward 2021, because I lost the child in February 2021, and then fast forward 2021 in September, I found out that I was pregnant again. I was so excited. I remember I did the test, the pregnant test, and then I found out that I was pregnant. I was so excited. I remember even showing one of my friends, like that lady who was the best girl on my wedding. I remember showing, I was like, "I'm pregnant." She was so happy with me, and we were just so excited. And I think that was the time when we already started with the wedding planning. So I was so busy with wedding planning. It was just busy wedding planning, wedding planning. Um, and then I remember in October, I think mid October 2021, just before our wedding, I started feeling this sharp pain around my waist. I was like, "What's happening?" So for me, I didn't even put much thought into it. I was like, "I don't know, just pain." I ignored it, but it was really tense. Like it was a lot, but I just ignored it. And then I remember I started seeing like a discharge on my pants, which was it was water like, but it smelled so bad. Like it smelled like rotten fish. I was like, "What's happening?" And for me, I didn't know that I was going through like a miscarriage. And then I think 3 days or 4 days after, I started seeing blood, which was like dark red, like almost like black. I started seeing this blood coming out, and then later on, fresh blood coming out, a lot of clots, like a lot of clots coming out. And I was like, what's happening? And I remember I hadn't told my boyfriend that time that I was pregnant, because I was like, I need to find the right time for me to surprise him, to just tell him that I'm pregnant at the right time, blah 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 blah. But then I ended up like losing the child, the pregnancy. So for me, I thought maybe, I don't know, it's period. Like, people, how people, I was just so naive, guys. You know how people, like, sometimes when you're pregnant you bleed sometimes. So I was like, oh, maybe that's what I'm going through as well. But then I went to the doctor, and the doctor told me that you are having a miscarriage. And he said you're very stressed and all that. And I was so stressed, guys, with the wedding planning. So I think maybe, according to the doctor, he said, I think that what caused the miscarriage. You had so much pressure, you were so stressed, you're not relaxed. So that's why maybe I had a miscarriage. And it was so sad that even on my wedding day, I was still bleeding. I was still having the miscarriage. But then I didn't have time to go through the emotions that I was going through. I had to be present on the wedding day. I had to like put up a face. And then I also remember a few days before my wedding, when I was like posting pictures on my Facebook and social media, people also passing comments like, she has lost a weight, lot of weight, blah blah blah. I was going through a miscarriage, guys. I was going through a miscarriage that time. Um, and then that was it. I lost the baby, and I remember, I told my husband was like, Sinikiwe, I think we really need to take a break, build ourselves financially, emotionally, just connect with each other. Then we'll start think about having another baby. I was like, cool. So that time I went on the control tablets, because I was like, that's what. So I went on the control tablets as a contraception method for me. So if I take you back, um, when I was pregnant with my angel baby, I was told that I had fibroids. So before yeah, I was told that I had fibroids, and then I told my husband, I was like, I think I need to go and see a doctor about the fibroid thing, so that I know where I stand. Is it something that is serious that needs immediate medical attention, or what? And I also remember one of my friends, I don't know her personally, but she's someone that I really connected with on social media. She paid for a gynae for me. You guys, if you hear any baby sounds, Mr. Man is now here. Is it Papa? Hello, so he's here with me. You can see, guys, he's little, he's little hand. She paid for me. I went to see a gynae, and then the gynae was like, "You do have fibroids, but just Papa." But it was like, it's really so small. Like, there's no need for us to do like an operation for you, so that we can cut the fibroids out. For now, I think it's okay and safe for you to actually conceive and start trying for a baby. But that was not the time I was like ready to start trying for the baby. I went for other, I think, I don't know, a few more months before we started trying for the baby. I was still on the control pills that I was taking. And then in July, that's when I decided that I wanted to start trying for a baby. I had a dream. If you are an oldie, you know I shared my pregnant journey with you guys, telling you when I stopped taking the tablets and all that, until I got pregnant with my beautiful, beautiful rainbow baby. Uh, and then the whole pregnant journey I shared with you guys until I gave birth. But when I was pregnant, I visited a gynae in Zambia, and then she told me that I was supposed to get like a stitch. I think the stitch is supposed to close my cervix opening. I think so. I'm not a medical personnel, guys, so you have to bear with me. I might be saying other things wrongly, but just bear with me. I was supposed to get that stitch, and she also advised that I was supposed to get a C-section at 32 weeks. I was not going to go beyond 32 weeks. When I came back to Zimbabwe with all those papers and the records and everything, I handed those papers to my gynae that I was now using in Zimbabwe. Such an amazing gynae. So when I visited him, he also advised the same things that that lady had advised. So he told me that I was supposed to have a C-section at 32 weeks. I was not supposed to go beyond 32 weeks, considering my body and all that. When I got to 32 weeks, I was okay. I was not struggling. Everything was fine. I was breathing fine. The size of the baby was okay. Everything was okay. And he was like, "Can we push to 36 weeks? If it pushed to 36 weeks, the baby will have developed a little bit more and it will be easy for you to take care of the baby, considering that you're going to have a C-section and all that." I was like, cool. Guys, I prayed, I pushed, I up until I reached 36 weeks. And the day when I reached 36 weeks, that's the exact day when I also had like contractions. I think they were false contractions because when I went to the hospital, I also shared with you guys my labor and delivery story. Because when I went to the hospital, they told me that I was not in labor, but I was having contractions. I don't know what was happening. So until I gave birth to my baby, my beautiful, beautiful son, my rainbow baby, my blessing. God has really blessed me. I feel so blessed to be called a mother. I feel so blessed that God has trusted me with the life of this little man right here. I really feel blessed. But things were not this easy, guys. Even up to now, things are not that easy. Motherhood can be a lot sometimes. I remember when I was in the hospital, I gave birth on a Friday, that was 23rd of June. And then on a Sunday, 25th of June, we had a little accident with the baby. Thank God I was still in the hospital. The baby choked on milk. And it was not a good picture. Things were bad, guys. I don't want to lie to you. If it wasn't treated as an emergency, it was supposed to be treated. I'm telling you guys, I don't think I would have come home with this baby. It was really a lot. I remember I was sitting in that NICU. Um, I don't even know how I ended up sitting on the floor. I felt so weak, and people were just running around. The nurses were running around, the doctors, because it was an emergency. The baby had choked on milk, and I was so traumatized. Guys, I don't even want to lie. I was so traumatized. That situation really scared me. It was not a good start to motherhood. To the extent that I remember the day when I was discharged from the hospital, I actually cried. I was like, how am I going to manage? What, Baba? I was like, how am I going to manage with this baby? Considering that I don't have all these machines at home. If it chokes on the milk, what am I supposed to do? Like, it was just a lot, guys. I don't want to lie to you. I was scared. I was traumatized. I just didn't know what to do. So, yeah, but I thank God that now I'm a bit more confident in my parenting. Things are a bit more easier now. The baby has grown. Things are now just different. And my baby was considered a late preterm, which means he needed to be warm. Like, yo, the beginning of motherhood for me was not that easy, guys. It was a lot. I was just scared. If I can explain that, I was more scared than I was happy to be going home with this child. I was like, can I just stay here in the hospital until he's a bit older so that way it was a lot. But we thank God when I came back home, I had support, I had people around me who were there to support me throughout my motherhood, and it was just so beautiful. And now my baby boy is now 4 months old, healthy looking, everything is okay, everything is going so well. Motherhood can be a lonely journey, honestly. My husband is there to help whenever he's around. He's always there. He helps. He feeds him. He changes him his diaper. Like, he's just a present father. But these days, my husband is not home. He's working out of town, so most of the time it's just me and the baby. So sometimes I feel like it can be a lot on me sometimes. But I thank God for the support that I have around. I thank God for for his nanny. She's just an amazing young lady. Takes care of him so nicely. Um, yeah, even like my aunties, they come around here and there. My in-laws, people are just they around. I have people around me who are always there to support me, and I thank God for that. Um, so the journey has just been, for the most part, it has been beautiful. It's been fulfilling. Sometimes I'm just like, is this really me? Like, is this really me? Here with my baby. It's just so beautiful, guys. Yeah, I think that's just basically it. So now motherhood. Yeah. Motherhood, it takes a lot on you as a person, emotionally, financially. Yeah. Financially, babies are not cheap. If I look at the money that we had to spend for me to give birth to this baby boy, to give birth to this boy right here, guys, it's a lot of it's a lot of money. But I'm like, it's just money, guys. You can work hard for more money. The most important thing was my safety, the baby's safety, and to make sure that we receive the best medical care that we can receive. So, like, what is money compared to life? Um, but yo, it was a lot expensive, and expensive. The bills were so expensive, but we thank God that we're able to afford. We thank God for providing us with that money to be able to give birth at a better hospital, better care. It was just a blessing, honestly. So yeah, that's just basically my. You're there, you're out there. You're trying for a baby. You have had a lot of miscarriages. You have had a lot of bad experiences. I just want to encourage you and to tell you that you know what, things will be better one day for you in whatever way, but things will definitely be better. You need to hang in there. You need to trust in the Lord. Keep your faith high. You need to surround yourself with people who support you, people who encourage you, people who are just there for you. You don't have to be around people who are going to always remind you of your situation. You don't need those people in your life. You don't need, especially here in Africa, you don't need people who are so superstitious, who are like, if you do this, baby, it's gonna be that. You don't need that. You need people who are positive all the way, because already you're going through a lot. You're going through a lot already, and you need people who are just gonna be there and support you. Yeah, Baba. So thank God for giving me this precious boy, my rainbow baby. How are you, Baba? Jen, 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 Baba. Jen, Baba. What is that? Mm. Guys, this guy doesn't smile for the camera. Like, he doesn't. You don't want to smile, Papa. Huh? You don't want to smile. You don't want to smile. Hey, you. It's hot. Papa, you don't want to smile for the camera. Smile, Papa. Hmm? You want to smile. You don't want to smile. So, yeah, guys, that's basically my story that I just wanted to share with you guys and to encourage other people. Because I remember when I shared my story, a lot of people came to my inbox with sharing their own experiences, asking me to pray for them and all that. But I just thought maybe let me share this with you so that you guys can see that it wasn't easy either for me. It was a lot. At some point, I also doubted my capacity to be able to carry a baby. And also to make things worse, when I shared my pregnancy journey on the internet, I received a lot of negative comments. People were like, pregnancy is not for everyone. Why do you even decide to have a child when you cannot take care of take care of yourself and you're bringing a child into the picture, blah blah blah. People said a lot of things, but I thank God that God gave me confidence. God gave me, I don't know, the comfort that I need to say I don't need to have hands for me to be a mother. I don't need to have certain things for me to be a mother. As long as I can afford to take care of the child, I'm good. I'm good. We have a lot of people without disabilities out there who look for helpers to help them with um taking care of the babies and all that. So what's different with me? So yeah, guys, I can go on and on. I can ramble and ramble and ramble. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. I'll see you guys in my next video. Make sure you subscribe, you comment, you share, you like, and you share with everybody that you know. Tell everybody that you know that they need to come and subscribe. We need to reach 50,000 subscribers before the year end. Can you please do that for me? Bye, guys.